you look at the wild card teams in the East, someone's going to have to play Boston in the first round.
Oh,
and,
boy.
Yeah, it seems impossible to picture a victory, but we do have recent history of this happening with Tampa, steamrolling the whole league and finishing with 62 wins, and they were by far the best team in the league. It wasn't even close. And they played a team in Columbus that was defensively sound, really good goaltending, a coach that was on top of them, and they found a way to get past them. Now, I would suggest this Boston team is built differently than that Tampa team, but do you could the Islanders be that team? Could Florida? The Islanders with Sorokin, right? Could they possibly at least push it to 6 or 7 and make Boston uncomfortable in the first round?
Yeah, they could. And goaltending is huge, though. Like you just said it there with Columbus. I mean, it's goaltending, right? And whenever I'm being critical of the Leafs or even with Ottawa, those are always sort of the unknowns. And I hate the thought of having that as an unknown. If you're like, you're a wagon, you're a good team, and you're heading into the postseason, and that's still a bit of a question mark in behind you. And you mentioned the Islanders. Absolutely. I mean, there's an opportunity there. And they still have a lot of core guys with a ton of experience, right, that know how to win games. So I wouldn't write anybody off now at this point. I love that you use Tampa as an example where they've just figured it out. They've been steamrolling teams. But I think the one takeaway for me, and it's obvious, is I would love to avoid Boston at all costs if I could. And that's obviously a no-brainer. They're just so dominant, and they're so well-balanced. I mean, when you're watching them play, just the way they manage the puck, they're getting great goaltending. They have a strong D-core. They just know how to do it. And then when you have the leadership core there too, I mean, it's just that much more of a weapon.
I still think, guys, if a team limps in and they get Boston in the first round, it'll obviously be a catastrophe, a mop-up scene. But the quality teams at the top, anything could happen, man. For everyone that it's so easy to say just you're not touching them. I can't see it. Like I can't see them mopping up everybody.
Hayes had a good point for me because the Islanders are, to me, they're a team that they're moldy. You know what I mean? Like they are really tight and they get on. Like they're not fun to play.
I think they beat them a couple years ago. I remember because Joe Haggerty in the first game was like, the Islanders can't keep up with these guys. This is going to be a quick series. And then the Islanders came back and flipped the switch on them and beat them.
Yeah, they'll be huge underdogs, obviously. But
if they slide to that spot, I mean, it might be Pitt.
Could be Pitt. Could be Florida.
But that's the thing. These teams have the ability to turn the clock back. If that's Pitt and they get goaltending, all of a sudden you got Sid and Gino and Letang that are going, hey, we got our last kick of the can here. Let's do this.
All the pressure is on Boston. Like everyone, like if Boston loses a game, people will be saying, "Oh, what are you doing? What's going on here?" All the pressure is on the Bruins. Like there's someone in the East can beat them in 7. Like it's a 7-game series. We're talking the Stanley Cup playoffs here. You can pick whoever you think it can be. But you can't tell me it's a foregone conclusion they're going to just sweep every series and crush everyone. That's just not reality.
No, that's not going to
happen.
Case.